You're tuned in to Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo, and I'm coming at you with another live stream. As you enter into the chat, make sure you double tap the like button on your way in. So we're going to deal with this Dallas ICE shooting situation, and a serial killer is on the loose in Houston. That's right. We're going over to Texas. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Let's see what they have to say.
Tell us from there.
Good morning. There was a massive police presence out here. In fact, we were trying to get over to the scene, but we had to bail off of I-35 just because it was an absolute parking lot. I'm sure Chip's been reporting, and your vantage point may even be better than ours at this point. Empire Central closed at the service road. Again, folks trying to get past this scene on 35. We bailed and came here to Parkland. It is the closest trauma center to this scene, and we can expect that this is where folks will be transported. You can hear probably the sirens behind me. Again, tons of police activity out here as folks race to the scene. As I'm sure Sean just reported, we're talking about 3 people shot who were in ICE custody. A male shooter on the rooftop shot himself when approached by law enforcement. As the rain continues to fall here, I can tell you that very much a fluid situation here, and very much expected that these folks would be brought here to Parkland. We can certainly keep you updated on their condition.
You see, after the Charlie Kirk situation, they have upped the ante. These folks who are from other places, more likely from other situations, have upped the ante to whereas now they taking it to Dallas. And then the serial killer in Houston, whoever this person is taking it up a notch. Now these deities and entities are going buck wild in these streets. In Dallas, Houston. You see the trickle effect that's going on right now with these demons out here? These warlocks, these witches, unaliving people because of their disagreements. You cannot have a disagreement with somebody try to unalive you. Somebody try to line you up. Let's continue.
All right, Steve Noviello live there at Parkland. We appreciate that. We also want to check in with David Brown, former police chief in Dallas. He's on the line as well. Former Chief Brown, Sean Rabb mentioned this earlier. I don't know if when you hear this scene.
If I'm not mistaken, this is South Dallas. I could be wrong. It looked like this is South Dallas because I was in North Dallas. I don't recall being on the 35. That looks like South Dallas. Okay, so let me explain. When you go to Texas, particularly Dallas, they have what is called North Dallas, the city of Dallas, and South Dallas. It's not one big place. So when you go there as a visitor, do not say, I'm in Dallas. No, you either in South Dallas, in the city of Dallas, or you in North Dallas, or Dallas Fort Worth is far west. Okay? Learn to hear what I'm saying. On top of that, this looks like South Dallas because I'm looking at the situation, and that is definitely South Dallas. That is not North Dallas. If I'm mistaken, that's definitely South Dallas. I could be wrong, just looking at the scenery. Anyway, let's continue.
If you've seen any of the coverage here, does this invoke thoughts in your mind of 7/7?
It really does. And thank you guys for having me on. Making sure you can hear me okay.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, it really does bring back those kinds of memories. But you guys are hitting all the right points when you talk about it. It's just such a live situation right now. You really want to eliminate whether there's any other suspects that's part of this attack this morning on the ICE facility, harming 3 people. So that's one of the top priorities for law enforcement right now, to eliminate any possibility that there's others involved.
Notice in Texas, they say there's other possibilities of other people involved. Yet with the situation with Charlie Kirk, they say it's one person. Come on now. You going to believe it's one person with the Charlie Kirk situation after you hearing this former police investigator, former police chief saying it's more likely more than one person? Come on now. Think about it. Let's continue.
And
I feel like we would have heard if they thought there was a second one at this point. I mean, Dallas police is now moving to say, hey, we're doing a media staging area. We're going to be giving a news conference in a little bit. I would think if this was still a possible active, like maybe there was a second suspect, they wouldn't already be moving to try to get us in a spot. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, but at the same time, this investigation is just starting. So there's a lot of work to do to figure out who this guy is, like you guys have been mentioning. Where's his vehicle? Today you got to look at people's social media once you identify who they are to see what.
Look at people's social media to look at who the people are. So they are watching everybody of what they're saying and what they're talking about on social media. You heard it from the detective. So all you folks that speaking so disrespectful in the chat, they know who you are and they watching. YouTube has certain things now to where the AI is tracking what people are saying in the chat and what people are talking about. And believe me, they are definitely watching this channel too. Okay? They're watching this. And I'm not saying anything disrespectful. So this is why I tell you folks to come in here, be respectful. They got the Google moderator. They got the AI moderator. I have my moderators. So if you come in here thinking that you can say whatever you want, they know who you are. They know where your whereabouts. And they will remove you off the platform permanently, or any of your IP addresses or anybody attached to your IP addresses will no longer be able to use the internet. Let's go.
What kinds of things have they been posting to try to give you some clues about motive?
Are these some of the things that you can talk about or tell us that are happening behind the scenes that we don't see on screen, without discussing tactics or anything? But what can you tell us about what's happening behind the scenes right now?
Well, behind the scenes, there's a lead agency. So because it's on a federal facility, will the feds take the lead? Will Dallas County take the lead? Or will the Dallas Police Department take the lead? So that's number one, identifying who's the lead. Or it could be a collaborative where they all kind of work together, multi-jurisdictional leads. But that's number one, because then that prompts certain types of things and resources available. Of course, at some point, they'll do a presser. They'll do a press conference or a press statement to make sure the public knows. Like you mentioned, by now you would think downtown safe or the area is safe. But
okay, so I was correct. It's downtown, so it's South Dallas. I was correct. I stand corrected. The man just said South Dallas, so that's South Dallas, south of this of the middle of the city. You got to consider Dallas the city. It's part of South Dallas. So I was correct. It's South Dallas. Because I know it's not North Dallas. I know the difference. All right, let's go.
Public knows, like you mentioned, by now you would think downtown safe or the area is safe, but you do want a statement at least at this point. So that's likely being prepared and hopefully sent out soon, so you guys can get a little bit more information. And finally, the investigation process itself. Even though the suspects apparently killed himself, you still have a full.
So the suspect unalived himself. The suspect unalived himself, according to this investigator.
Investigation to determine not just motive, but just what happened, why it happened, and what types of things this apparent suspect was planning to do. Was this targeted to these particular individuals that were harmed, or was this kind of a blanket attack? We just don't know a lot at this point, and it's just the beginning of the investigation.
I'm curious, what do you know about this immigration building? We were told the 3 that were shot were in ICE custody. Do they bring people in there that are in custody? Are they transporting there? Are they held there? Do you know anything about that?
That's a good question. Let's see what he says. That's a good question.
I don't, but if people are being brought in, it's either a federal facility or a Dallas County facility that's a temporary holding for federal transport to a federal facility. So I just don't know the details. Just waiting for the statement from police or law enforcement or federal law enforcement to determine all that information.
I also think it's important to point out this is what you guys train for. This is exactly, and I think with every case we see nationwide, you guys tweak a little bit about your response or, now we're seeing a lot of these shooters on the roof. I'm assuming that that changes your training some.
It does. Unfortunately, this is our new normal, and it's really a sad statement to make. This is the new normal for our country, and apparently rooftop shooters are a thing. And Sean mentioned this as well. You just have to really prepare for these suspects taking the high ground, which puts everyone else at a more vulnerable position and makes what normally is the ground level shooting much more complex and difficult to deal with from a law enforcement perspective.
Yeah, Dave.
So now he's saying from a law enforcement perspective that it takes long to get to apprehend the person. So this is what I believe is going to happen. Like how most buildings have roof for evacuations, for fires, for safety. That's why it's important to be on the roof. If you go to a fire, you can't get down to the main ground. You get to the fire and you go to safety until help come on the way. They're going to make it harder for people to be on the roof now, unfortunately. What if it's an emergency, a fire, evacuation, and you can't get to the roof because you can't get to the bottom? These are the things people see. I think a lot of us have too much stuff going on in our life that we don't remember when we was a kid about evacuation. Pay attention to the sky. Pay attention to those around you. We got too much stuff going on. We're being distracted with this, being distracted with that. And so they also got a lot going on. See, this is getting serious, y'all. This roof thing, at these places and people things, man, this is getting crazy, man. The devil is getting wild out here. These entities and deities are losing their minds. Let's go.
We want to kind of update people if they're just tuning in at the top of the hour here. So stay with us a second. We've got 3 people who were shot. Those people were in ICE custody. We've got a shooting detainee or a person that was the shooter who is now dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This happened from a rooftop. This person was acting in the form of a sniper shooting down at this ICE facility.
It must have been some people they wanted gone, y'all. Whoever the 3 people are, we're going to find out in a second. Whoever the 3 people are, maybe we'll get more information down the road, and you're definitely going to hear it from here. Let's get to the second one. Let's get to them talking about it. All right. Before we get to them talking about it, make sure you double tap the light screen. Double tap the light screen. We're going to talk about this. This is getting serious, y'all. If you're out and about, be cognizant, be mindful, pay attention to all surroundings. These people are livid now. They're going on roofs, unaliving people. So like I was stating, it could be possible that the 3 people that were targeted, that person was on a mission to target whoever the person is, whoever helped the person. It's more than one person shooting at a federal ICE facility. They had it in for those 3 people. They know who they was after. We'll get to the Houston serial killer in a minute. There's people talking about it now. We're talking about the Dallas situation. We'll get to the Houston situation. There's a couple of YouTubers that's been talking about this. The mayor has some other things to say about it. We'll get to that in a moment. If you're tuning in, if you look at the title, it says Dallas ICE shooting, serial killer in Houston. Okay, we'll get to that. I appreciate y'all tuning into the show. Make sure you double tap the like on your way in. I will appreciate if you like the video. If you want to listen to more content like this, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate those who recently subscribed to the channel. And so be mindful and cognizant. Be respectful in the chat, because YouTube has changed their policy. If you say anything disrespectful, they could track you. With grown people in here, right? We could agree to disagree. With grown people in here, be respectful, learn how to conversate, learn how to be grown adults. This is a serious, serious situation. We have a lot of sin going on in America. We cannot deny this. There's a lot of sin, and there's a lot of people that's let loose from devil. These monsters are let loose to create havoc in this country. So we got to call out the sin of all places. Let's continue. Let's get to it. All right. Thank you. Let's get to the next one. Hold on one second. Let me get it situated. All right. All right, y'all. Here we go. Let's get right to it. Let's hear what this DeBarassi mayor has to say.
All right. Let me start off by saying that I'm a person who believes very, very strongly in the power of prayer, and that prayer changes things. And so I'm going to ask everyone, please join me in praying for the families of the folks who lost their lives today. Pray for the speedy recovery for those who are hurt and were injured in what happened today. But maybe even more to the point, we're a country and a city that needs prayer. So I'm going to ask you all to join me also.
Okay. So this mayor saying we a city that needs prayer. Okay, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he is an Ibarasi mayor. For those who don't know what Ibarasi is, that means liberal. I believe he's a liberal mayor. We're going to put that to the side. He said that this city needs prayer. Now, I've been to North Dallas. You can't pay me to go to South Dallas. You can't pay me to be in the city of Dallas. And you can't pay me to go to DFW. There's no amount of money. Listen, when I go places in other states, I'm going to where it is top notch. I'm not going to the demonic type of places. Because when you go into these demonic, the Dallas, South Dallas, is too much demonic activity going on over there. If you are in those confines, my best advice is for you to get with like-minded people, put your money up for a year or two, and get out of those demonic places. Get your family out of there. No excuses 2025. Like I say, you could agree to disagree. If you disrespect me, if you disrespect the chat, you disrespect the mods, you will be blocked. Do I make myself clear? You could be into that Ibarasi liberal stuff. I don't have no issues with that. The point is that y'all need to call out the sin. Y'all don't call out the sin respectfully. The conservatives call out the sin all the way. That's just my opinion. You could agree to disagree. It seems like a lot of you Ibarazis, you love sin. You know why? Because the biggest jails is in these blue cities, whether it be in the red state or actual in the blue cities. We cannot deny that. You cannot deny that. If you are a true liberal, you cannot deny the facts. Facts over feelings. You can't deny it. We can have this conversation now. Don't talk about no. It's more in the red state. It's more jails in the red state. No. Sir, you wrong, sir. No, I'm not wrong. Are you serious? What sin? Do you know what sin is, ma'am? Ma'am, do you know what sin is? You see what I'm talking about? Let me put this in the chat. What sin? Do you know what sin is? Unalive people, stealing, killing, murdering, raping. That's sin, ma'am. I know you have common sense, right? Somebody trying to mess with this, mess with that. That's sin, ma'am. Killing is sin. Now, when you take out the sinners, when you remove the sin, then the world rejoices. Yet the world is not rejoicing because people accept sin. Come on now, let's go.
And praying for this city, that we can come together at a time like this, and that we can be there for one another the way we always have in times like this, to support one another, help us all get through this very difficult time, not just in our city, but in our country. And that's why I'd ask you to pray for our nation. There's a lot going on right now in our country. A lot of it's confusing. It's a scary time. I've got children. I've got 3 young children. And I'm here to tell you that it is challenging to explain to them what's going on in our country right now. But I said before...
Did you hear that? He said that I have to explain to my children what's going on. He has to explain to his children like, Daddy, why is it that it's killing? Daddy, why is people committing crimes? Daddy, why is this going on, that going on? Could you imagine that you have to explain to your children on a daily basis the sin? They can't go out and have a good time as kids because people don't know how to behave properly. Come on now. Listen to what he said. Listen.
Scary time. I've got children. I've got 3 young children. And I'm here to tell you that it is challenging to explain to them what's going on in our country right now. But I said before, and I'll say it again, I believe in the power of prayer to change things right now in our country. A lot of it's confusing. It's a scary time. I've got children. I've got 3 young children. And I'm here to tell you that it is challenging to explain to them what's going on in our country right now. But I said before, and I'll say it again, I believe in the power of prayer to change things. And it can change the hearts of people. It can change this country. It can change this city. So please pray for everyone who's affected by today's tragedy. I also want to say thank you to the Dallas Police Department, and say thank you to the Dallas Sheriff's Department, Dallas County Sheriff's Department, Texas Department of Public Safety, and all of our various federal law enforcement partners who acted so quickly today to make sure that today's tragedy wasn't worse than what it was. So on behalf of the city of Dallas, I want to say thank you to all of you. And you're going to hear from some of those folks later, but I want to let you know that we appreciate what you all do.
Look at how the people behaving in the chat. Look how the people behaving in the chat. You got people saying, why do blacks hold live streams when they are uneducated? You got a demon in the chat calling me uneducated. You got a demon in the chat calling me uneducated. Let me see if I can find them in the chat. Well, he can't get his thing is not going through. You see, it's on my backup thing. I could see it. You calling me uneducated? Really? That's a black racist that came in the chat that I could see on my end. Y'all can't see on your end. You got these black racists who's upset with me right now, y'all. You got these black hate racist people upset with me. They love sin. They promote sin. They watch sin. They engage in sin. Let's continue. Listen to what he says.
Not just today, but every day to help keep us all safe. And lastly, and this is really important, I would ask all of the city of Dallas residents who can hear me right now, let's be patient, let's remain calm, and let's let our law enforcement partners, our police department, do their job.
Oh, no, sir. Sir, with all due respect, now you're doing fair speech. Because, see, I've been to Dallas. Sir, you're the mayor. You have Jasmine Crockett. You have a bunch of criminal Ibarazis that's in the Senate that allow Juju and Bom Bom, LaQuisha at the parade. They love poverty. Sir, if you want things to be correct, you have to move correctly. You have to have a staff that is not on sin code, sir. Here we go. Everybody wants to know why we ain't talking about Trump. Why y'all have an issue with Trump? I find it ironic that all you folks have an issue with Trump now. Oh, now, why you ain't talking about Trump, sir? Why we ain't talking about Trump? Do you have an issue with Trump, Lex? Lex, you have an issue with Trump? You know I'm going to get the hat, Trump is right. When I get that hat, y'all going to be livid. When I put in my order to get that Trump is right hat, y'all going to be livid. Y'all going to be stalking me, calling me all types of names. I talk about Trump. We're not talking about Trump right now, Lex. We're talking about this shooting. We're talking about this monster, whoever this monster Houston killer is. Okay, you was talking. Okay, Lex. My mistake. Lex. Okay. Okay, I got you. You talking to Ibarasi in the chat? Hey, Lex. Hey, Lex, you see how I apologize to you, Lex? Because I'm looking in the chat. I see what you're talking about now. Yeah. Shout out to Lex. She calling these demons out. You good, Lex. You good. You got these black people using white faces. Listen, you got these black folks using white faces photos. Listen how desperate black people getting. You got black people right now. You got these black monsters using white people's photos to try to get my attention. They stooping to a low. They stooping to a low, trying to act professional, trying to act lingo. Why are you worrying about money? I'm supposed to be making money. See, only black folks, listen, only black folks talking about you grifting, you making money. So you're not working a job? Were you on Section 8, huh? You got some woman taking care of you, black man? You living with the black woman? You living with the big mama? I love my big mama. She means the world to me. I love big mama. She means the world to me. You're not supposed. Why I'm not supposed to be making money? Who's begging for money? If people want to support my platform, they can support my platform. You mad? You is a window shopper. You mad at me? I think I know why. You is a window shopper. You mad at me? I think I know why. You is a window shopper. I know you all mad. You is a window shopper. You cannot dress like me now. I am moving really good now. I'm in the hottest state in America. You mad? You living in the projects. You are a poor, blind, sad, black person. Mad at me because I get the support all around the world. You merely mad at me. You is a window shopper. You miserable. Your woman don't want you. She want to get a man that could put it on her better than you can really do. I'm broke. Why are you worrying about this TV? I live in a mansion. Where you live at? I live in a mansion. Where you live at? Broke person. I live in a mansion. Where you live at, broke person? I live in a mansion. This is only temporarily. I'm getting something bigger than this. I'm slow, but you watching me. I'm slow, but Jasmine Crockett wants a man like me. I don't want Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett want a man like me. I saw Jasmine Crockett in real person, fool. I want to touch her with my pole. I want to touch that Democratic witch with my pole. Pause. You can't afford to take care of a witch like Jasmine Crockett, dummy. Why are you worrying about this? Is my studio room, fool. Listen, this is my studio room. You don't know what else I got going on. You think I'm going to show you everything? Why would I show everything to a broke person like you? You can't even put $2 in the super chat, fool. You can't put $2 in the super chat to even get my attention. You love to get roast. You've been abused all your life. You mad at me? I think I know why. You as a black broke person. You in my chat making me money. You watching me, you making me money. If I don't like a person, I wouldn't watch them. Lex. They mad. They just mad. They're trying to find things to talk about. They boring. Their life is so boring. Lex, their life is so boring right now. Let's get back to this.
This is an active investigation. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. And I want to encourage all of you to exercise a little bit of restraint and allow them to do their job to help make sure this continues to be a safe city and that they can help us figure out what happened here today. But with that, I want to say, again, thank you to all the folks who came out this morning from our law enforcement community. I'll turn it over to our police chief, Daniel Como, to speak a little bit more directly to the investigation itself. And
okay, Senator Ted Cruz is there. Senator Ted Cruz is in the building. All right, let's go.
with that, Chief Como, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Today at approximately 6:40 a.m., we received a assist officer call. We responded to the call, got to the scene, and we later learned that we had 4 individuals that were shot, 2 of them deceased, including the shooter. The DPD was able to locate the shooter who was deceased. We're going to be working this investigation shoulder to shoulder with our federal partners. The FBI is on scene, and right now I'm going to introduce you to the SAC of the Dallas Field Division, FBI Joe Rumrock.
Yeah, good morning. My name's Joe Rothrock. I'm the special agent in charge of the Dallas FBI Field Office. I want to first start by thanking our partners in local law enforcement, specifically the Dallas Police Department, for their quick and timely response. I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence. It is unfortunately just the most recent example we've seen of targeted violence. To include here in North Texas, we're back on.
So they're talking about the situation with Charlie Kirk. And now after the Charlie Kirk situation, now we have this situation going on in Dallas. All right, let's continue.
On July 4th, we saw a coordinated attack carried out against an immigration detention center in Alvarado, Texas. What I can also share with you is that early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
Meaning somebody from another country more likely is involved with other people that's anti-American. Let's go.
Again, this is just the most recent example of this type of attack. This will be a whole of government response. There will be no resource not utilized to bring all those individuals who are responsible to bring them to justice and to hold them accountable. While we're not releasing identities of any victims at this time, what I can confirm for you is no members of law enforcement were hurt during this attack. If any member of the public has information that would help the FBI's investigation, I would ask that you please report that to 1-800-CALL-FBI. Again, any piece of information will be helpful, but this will be an ongoing investigation between us, a number of federal partners, and our local partners, again, to ensure that anyone responsible is held accountable. With that, I will turn it over to my counterpart from the ICE Enforcement and Removal Office.
All right, so he said what he had to say, and now let's get to what the other individual has to say.
Good morning. My name is Joshua Johnson. I'm the acting field office director for ICE Dallas. I'll be brief with my comments, but I do want to start off by saying thank you to the Dallas Police Department, Dallas FBI, HSI, CBP, ATF, and virtually every law enforcement officer in North Texas for your support.
All right, so in North Texas, you have the North Texas helping out for the support in South Dallas. Okay, let's continue.
This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities. And I think that the takeaway from all of this is that the rhetoric has to stop. There are people out there who are seeing what is being placed online, and they're coming and they're doing acts of violence against ICE employees.
Now, I want to say this to the person in charge of the Dallas ICE situation. We need Newsom to be arrested. We need that governor of California to be arrested. We need the Chicago mayor, the Chicago governor to be arrested. We need anybody that support these devils, whether it's foreign or domestic. We need them to be locked up, sir. I think a lot of y'all need to get together to nip it in the bud. We need a regime change. We need people that really care about this country, because what's happening is these Ibarazzis, demonic entities, are bringing in sinners, promoting killing, promoting shooting, allowing robbing, allowing death going on in this country. We have to call it out. Enough is enough. I'm fatigued with sinners. I'm fatigued with sinners, y'all. And the children should not have to hear in school. They should not have to hear horror in school. They're supposed to learn to become better citizens. Children, all they hear is killing, murder, robbing, stealing. Some of you teachers, you need to be investigated, because some of you are racist. Some of you teachers are racist. You're a woman racist teacher, you're a male racist teacher. All sin needs to be cleaned out. All of it. You got somebody saying you're ridiculous. You got another demon in here saying I'm ridiculous. You got another demon in here saying I'm ridiculous. Let's continue, y'all.
So that's kind of all I have for today, is that it's just got to stop. It's dangerous, and people are losing their lives. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Again, thank you all so much. As it was said here today, if you do have any information, reach out to 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you. Senator Cruz. Thank you.
She came in there. Hold on.
All I have for today is that it's just got to stop. It's dangerous, and people are losing their lives. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Again, thank you all so much. As it was said here today, if you do have any information, reach out to 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you. Senator Cruz. Thank you.
This needs to stop.
Okay, so she's a person of a representative, a spokesperson. She's a spokesperson. All right, now Ted Cruz is going to talk. Here we go.
Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong. It was 2 weeks ago today that we saw a political assassination in Utah that tore the heart out of much of this country.
Agree, Mr. Cruz. Call it out. Call it out. Let's go.
This is the third shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP. This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP.
Yes, call them out. Listen, Mr. Cruz, you and your constituents got to call these demons out. Put cuffs on them. We want to see cuffs on Jasmine Crockett and any of her constituents. Put handcuffs on them. Put handcuffs on that New Jersey Booker. If they promote sin, they should go down with the sin. And then if these content creators that promote hate, they should not have a channel. You got a lot of young people listening to more sinners on YouTube than people that want to see the country go in a better direction. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Listen again to what Mr. Cruz has to say.
ICE or CBP. This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop. To every politician demanding that ICE agents be doxxed and calling for people to go after their families, stop.
Call it out.
This has very real consequences.
That's right.
Look, in America, we disagree. That's fine. That's the democratic process. But your political opponents are not Nazis. We need to learn to work together without demonizing each other, without attacking each other. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the brave men and women of law enforcement. I want to say thank you to the brave men and women of ICE and CBP and everyone who puts their lives on the line to keep us safe. The divisive rhetoric tragically has real consequences. I hope that every one of us will pray, number one, for the safety of law enforcement that are risking their lives to keep us safe. Number two, for the health of those who were shot and injured today. We still don't know the full details of who was injured, but for the families also of the victims of this shooting. Violence has no place. It is wrong. And we should come together. If we want to have a debate about immigration policies, we can do so in the halls of Congress without demonizing each other, and especially without demonizing the men and women who every day put on a badge and go risk their lives to keep us safe. And we should not be putting language out there that inspires madmen to commit evil crimes.
I agree with that 1,000,000% of what he's saying. Let's go.
Prayers are with the men and women of law enforcement, and we ought to come together and have some decency across the political aisle to say this violence is wrong and it needs to stop.
Senator, have you been told that immigrant detainees were the victims of today's shooting?
My understanding is the details of who the victims are still being ascertained, so I don't want to go ahead of law enforcement releasing these details. What they have said is that no law enforcement was injured, and so that's a natural inference, but I don't know the details.
Special Agent, can you talk a little bit about some of the evidence you mentioned earlier? Just for clarity, I think it's getting a lot of questions. Our understanding is that some of the shell casings had specific writing that was relevant to the voting here. Can you give us more information?
So I'm not going to go into any more details at this time. We will come back to you when we have more details to share. Again, our goal here will be transparency as those details become available, but we are still in the early stages of an investigation. Information is still coming in. When we have more details, we will come back to this group. I'm not going to be identifying victims at this time. The only thing I will confirm at this time is no law enforcement was injured. Certainly you can respect law enforcement's need to make notifications.
Why are we not saying that they were the detainees that were shot?
At this point in time, we're not going to take any additional questions from law enforcement. Again, I'd ask for you to respect the fact that this is an ongoing investigation, and as more details come available...
We're not asking for the names of the victims.
I understand.
In general sense, if the victims are the detainees.
The only thing I can say right now is no law enforcement was injured this morning as part of the attack. I won't be taking any more questions, neither will law enforcement at this time. We'll come back to you later today or in the coming days when we have additional information. Thank you for your time.
Thank you a lot.
All right, only taking a few brief questions right there, but what you're looking at is a live look from near the scene. As you can see, the array of officers out there working this very active investigation just hours after all of this took place. Now, as far as what we know, this is, of course, out of Dallas, Texas. 2 detainees fatally shot at an ICE facility in Dallas, 1 other wounded by a sniper on a nearby rooftop. And that appears to potentially be the rooftop, as they do have it kind of blocked off by police tape. And you have folks that are working the investigation walking on the roof. Now, the information itself coming from Dallas police and other organizations and agencies saying that 1 victim was pronounced dead on the scene. 2 other detainees rushed to a hospital with injuries that were deemed serious. Officers then confirming another of the detainees died. So again, 2 detainees dead, 1 of them wounded, being treated at a hospital. The exact condition not known just yet.
My, oh my, oh my.
Police said that they were alerted around 6:40 a.m. local time this morning to reports of that shooting at the ICE facility. The sniper reportedly on a nearby rooftop when the person opened fire into a van carrying those detainees, striking the 3 victims at the ICE facility there in Dallas. Investigators saying the sniper died from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head as law enforcement saw him and approached him.
All right. Before we get to the Houston situation, let me get rid of this troll here too. Let me get rid of this other troll. Let me get you out of here, pack you up out of here. I don't got time for you trolls. I don't got time for you trolls at all. Because I don't have no moderators in the house. I don't have no moderators in the house, so I have to make sure everything's good. If you're going to be disrespectful, you will be blocked. You could agree to disagree. Saying certain things, I'm not going to let it pass. You're just going to get blocked straight up. I don't got time to entertain you. You have nothing to bring to the table. All right, let's get to the Houston situation. All right, this is very serious. Now we got to deal with this Dibarasi person in Houston, y'all. The disrespect. Listen, if you're a Houstonian, y'all gotta get this going. Get rid of these people that's not for you. Listen to this.
Rumors spreading on social media that a serial killer is on the loose in Houston.
The rumors started flying after word spread that 5 bodies were pulled from local bayous in 5 days last week.
Katira Winfrey is live at HPD headquarters where the mayor and the police chief try to put the rumors to rest. Katira.
Yeah, Lynn and Mia, the mayor and the police chief say the misinformation and speculation is stoking fear and anxiety unnecessarily.
5, enough is enough. That is Mayor John Whitmire's response to rumors spreading on social media that a serial killer is on the loose in Houston.
The rumors started flying after word spread that 5 bodies were pulled from local bayous in 5 days last week.
Katira Winfrey is live at HPD headquarters where the mayor and the police chief try to put the rumors to rest. Katira.
Yeah, Lynn and Mia, the mayor and the police chief say the misinformation and speculation is stoking fear and anxiety unnecessarily, and says there is no clear evidence, and was clear there is no evidence of a serial killer. Now, those 5 bodies pulled from the bayous in the last week, he says, is just a unfortunate circumstance. Houston has 2,500 miles of bayous and waterways, and both reiterated there is no evidence to suggest that any of these deaths are connected, but the medical examiner will have to determine the causes of death. Of the 5 deaths in the last week, so far only 1 person has been identified, a University of Houston student who had been missing. A second person has also been identified, but they won't release that name until they are sure the family has been notified.
I do say enough's enough on speculation, out of respect for the families and also for 2.3 million Houstonians and our region. We have challenges. We're meeting those challenges. But a serial killer loose in Houston is not one of our challenges today.
What? What? Did y'all hear what he said? Listen to what he say, y'all. Listen to what he say again. Listen to what he say.
Family has been notified.
I do say enough's enough on speculation, out of respect for the families and also for 2.3 million Houstonians and our region. We have challenges. We're meeting those challenges. But a serial killer loose in Houston is not one of our challenges.
When he used the word but, you can't take anything he say serious. Listen, y'all, when a person used the word but, don't take anything what they say serious. This is not good. This is your mayor of New York City. Stuff like this is why after the takeoff situation, y'all, after the takeoff situation that happened in Houston, I have no reason to go to Houston. Now, there's people I do know in Houston, I just wouldn't go. They will have to meet me somewhere else. I will not go to Houston. You can't pay me to go to Houston. You cannot pay me. There's no amount of money that would get Rollo to ever visit Houston. It's just, no. 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 If I do, I'm going with some serious people that knows Houston, that's on point, that's very aware of what's going on, because it's similar to Louisiana. It's too wicked. It's too wicked. It's too wicked, y'all. It's too wicked in Houston. They on demon time. It makes South Dallas look like a saint compared to Houston. Houstonians be on demon time amongst HIV, other situations. Are you serious? New York is the best place to live in the world to live in? Yeah, right. New York is the best place to live in the world? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You can't make this up. Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue.
Today. And I would hope.
And the mayor says there is a myriad of reasons people have been ending up in the bayou. He says some of them may be homeless, some of them may be experiencing mental health crises. But he says the timing of this set off an alarm, but again, reiterated, there is no evidence that a serial killer is on the loose in Houston. Reporting live.
So he's saying these people could be homeless. We don't know if they was homeless or they was on substance. We don't know. All I know it just is I smell a rat. I smell a rat.
Houston, Katira Winfrey, KHOU 11 News.
Officially putting the rumors to rest. Thank you, Katira.
Oh, we're going to listen to what this content creator had to say. Now we're going to listen to what this content creator who in Houston has to say. This is his homework he did. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, this content creator goes by the name of Poetic Flacco. Poetic Flacco is a YouTuber in Houston. Many of you may know who Poetic Flacco is. He's a known YouTuber in Houston. So I'm going to go to his source because he's from Houston. So he talked about a cover-up. Let's see what he has to say.
It has already been horrible, but apparently it just keeps getting worse. Apparently there's a serial killer located in Houston now. And we are just hearing about this because apparently the latest victim is someone who was very beloved. and a family made this news headline go viral, and now it's national news now.
Our Fox 26 count is now at 13 bodies found in Houston bayous this year by law enforcement and first responders. Remember, the 22 bayous are spread out for miles, so it's a lot of ground to cover, and that comes with tough investigations.
I don't want to hear suspicions or suspicious when you talk about 13 dead bodies. It's urgent. This needs to be figured out immediately. There's a serial killer on the loose. Now, we only know about this because the latest victim is a college student by the name of Jade McKissick. Now, who was found in the Houston Bayou as well. Now, here's the thing.
So whoever this college student is connected to a well-known family in Houston. Whoever this college student is connected to a well-known family in Houston. That's what led the headlines. So what are they hiding in this Bayou River? There's a lot of weird things I be hearing going on in that Bayou River. I'm not going to get into it. This is not the time to get into it. All I know is, like I told y'all, when I tell people you can't pay me to live in certain places, I have my reasons why. It's too much sin. It's sin everywhere. Let me explain something to y'all. Let me make this clear. It's sin everywhere. I'm not tolerating deeper sins. There's parts of America that have deep sins. New York City, Chicago, parts of Detroit, Los Angeles, Oakland, San Francisco, Houston. It has a lot of sin. Louisiana have a lot of sin. Parts of Mississippi have a lot of sin. Parts of Alabama has a lot of sin. I don't want to be in South Georgia or in the city line of Georgia. I will deal with North Atlanta. I told y'all, I don't care what people say. You're not going to see me in deep sin, warlock, witches type areas. There's parts of Tampa I will not go to. There's parts of Jacksonville I will not go to because of the sin. I'm telling you, a lot of you don't pay attention to the sin. This sin and sinners. Sinners and sin. Look. Can't do it. Let's go.
You know, her disappearance is odd, and it was all caught on camera.
Authorities say surveillance video appears to have captured the last moments of 20-year-old University of Houston student Jade McKissick's life. She was found dead yesterday after being reported missing earlier this month. Out of respect for Jade and her family, KPRC2 News will not air the entire clip. KPRC2 News reporter Rochelle Turner returned to the scene where Jade McKissick was last seen to retrace her final moments. She's joining us now live with the latest. Rochelle?
Daniela, there's still more questions than answers. We've been at this gas station you see right here behind me all day, and people have been asking us about Jade, telling us that they've been seeing her story all over the news. But Jade was seen right here in this parking lot. These were the last moments that anyone seen her, and we saw surveillance video. I'm going to cross the street safely to show you just how this all kind of played out. We do know that this is still under investigation.
This has to be foul play. Now, there are people who are pointing towards maybe this was intentional, this was self-deletion, she did this intentionally. Nobody in the world is choosing drowning as their last day. I'm sorry, bruh. Right? Nobody is doing that, bruh. Not drowning. Not that much pain. And who says, let me buy a drink if you're planning to do that? Like, that's not what's going through your mind. Now, apparently she left the bar, came here. Now, the other theory is, man, she was just too sloppy drunk. She walked right into the river. Cut it out, bruh. She was able to walk to that gas station, knowing where she was going, pay for her merchandise, walk out, and was able to keep walking. She wasn't sloppy, drunk over, bent over. To me, this is a homicide. This is a murder investigation. I don't care what the autopsy say.
But video shows her walking towards Brays Bayou, which is right over here. And at this hour, police tell us that Her death is under investigation. There's no foul play and no trauma, but it's still a lot of questions surrounding her death. We do know that she came here to that gas station. She went inside to purchase a beverage, and then she walked right over here.
Let me say this, because this is a very touching subject. Let me say this, though. I don't know if she unalived herself. I will tell you this. She might went through some stuff. And let's keep it real. A lot of women are drinking more alcohol and more substance in 2025. There's a survey, and I'm being serious. There's a survey out there. You can Google it. The Black women are the highest alcoholic taking drugs in America. She probably seen some things she didn't like. Houston, I'm going to tell you something. Let me explain something to y'all, because now I'm about to get in. See, I've been living in the South over the past 5 years. I've been different parts of the South. I'm very well traveled. And let me tell you guys something. Houston is infested with sin. Do you understand me? You got a lot of Louisianians. When they left, they sinned. Listen! Because I'm going to keep it real. When a lot of Louisianians that do witchcraft, voodoo, warlocks and witches, a lot of them went to Houston. And they do spells. I got friends from Houston. This ain't no lie. There's a lot of spell work going on in Houston. Houston was a very prominent city back in the days. When that situation happened in 04, 05 in Louisiana, and a lot of them moved to Houston, sin became more prevalent. There are a lot of them moved to Texas, particularly Houston, San Antonio. As I'm saying, all Louisianans is wicked? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is majority of those people do spells. And some of those drinks in Houston, this is what I was told by a person that works for the alcohol beverage. They had to, inspect a lot of drinks. I believe she was in a spell. She was hallucinating. She drank something she was not supposed to drink, and that's what led her to her demise. Ladies, be careful what you buy. Ladies, I'm talking to you. Ladies, be careful what you buy. Be careful what you drink. There's a lot of harvesting going on in Houston. There's a lot of harvesting going on in Houston, and most of those Louisianians that's into that voodoo, into witchcraft and warlocks, they harvest bodies. I'm not joking. I'm not pushing fear. If you're going to Houston, you're going out late at night, be careful. I talk to real Houston people. They do not go out. There's a certain part of Miami. Do not go out at a certain time. Let me get rid of this demon. Let's get rid of this demon. Let me get this demon out of here. I don't have no moderator. See, I'm gonna have to do. If I have a moderator in here, they should be blocked. Why is my moderator not blocking this person? Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you're a moderator and you watching and you're not removing, I'm gonna start removing wrenches. If you're a moderator and you've seen somebody disrespect me, why they not being blocked? Do I need to start taking wrenches away? Do I need to start taking wrenches away? I'm very serious. If you see these demons saying something, why I gotta block them? Why should I stop blocking them? You see a demon, why I'm blocking him? You have a wrench for a reason because you support the platform. But now I'm starting to think, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. No, in order to be a mod, you have to support. You have to support. I'm not giving out wrenches just to give out wrenches. You have to support. Everybody that mod for me, they supported me. They supported my platform. They supported my work. It's just so distasteful that I'm not gonna say anything. I'm being respectful, but like moderators, if you're not gonna do your job, just be in the clouds. Because when I see you in the chat, you watching, you seeing what's going on, you're not doing your job. That's not good. You telling me to shut up? I'll tell you what to do. You shut up by being blocked. You shut up by being blocked, demon. You're not going to disrespect the mods. Listen, I'm going to time you out. Listen, you're not going to disrespect my mods. They're not lacking. My mods don't lack. I know I had a mod in the chat. I'm just going to, the mod know who it is. Come on. Block these people. I'm doing this work here.
But we just don't know exactly how she died. We've been speaking to people all day, some of them saying something's just not adding up. Others say that there's been a lot of deaths here in Brays Bayou. So we did reach out to Houston Police for more information, but right now they tell us that it's still under investigation. This is Jade Sage McKissick. The 20-year-old University of Houston student was last seen on September the 11th around 1 o'clock in the morning, right along North McGregory Way in 3rd Ward. According to Houston police, she had spent the evening with friends at local bars and then left by herself and also left her cell phone. From there, she walks to this gas station. The clerk showed us video of her going inside and getting a slushie. She walks out these doors and walks into the parking lot. And this picture from surveillance shows Jade circled in green in the far right corner of your screen. It's the last time she was seen, according to police. It shows her walking towards Brays Bayou. To give you some
Hold on. I want to see who these people are. Look at these ninjas. Hold on. This is a red flag. This is a red flag. This is Ninjaville. Look at these ninjas in the building. Look at these ninjas. Look at these ninjas. You got a bunch of men hanging out. A bunch of ninjas hanging out. Look at these two ninjas. You got this pickup truck here. Is she by herself? Oh. Somebody had it in for her. She's very well known. This is a hit, y'all. She's very well known. Her family's very well known in Houston. This is a hit. We need to see who these two people are. We need to investigate this person in the pickup truck. That's all I'm going to say. It's a bunch of savages hanging out. This is definitely some hood type area. Let's go.
Jade circled in green in the far right corner of your screen. It's the last time she was seen, according to police. It shows her walking towards Brays Bayou. To give you some perspective, the gas station is about 100 yards away from Brays Bayou. I'm going to actually walk and see how long it takes me to get there. That video was sped up, but it took me about 27 seconds to walk from the front entrance to the intersection of McGregor Way and Scott Street. This camera right here at the end of the gas station shows Jade walking towards the left of the bayou, and then she goes out of frame.
Police departments are naturally lazy. What's more convenient for them? To write this off as, hey, man, this chick did this to herself, or to try to investigate or piece together 12 homicides that was found in LA. They probably don't want to do the work to investigate a serial killer and trace every lead. But what we're not going to do, we're not going to go by this theory of, hey, because Jade posted a couple of cryptic messages on her Instagram, that this means she wanted to do this to herself. You guys want to know the cryptic message the police believes that this is a sign that this was something intentional that she inflicted on herself? Let's take a look.
Sometimes I see myself failing in the future and it worries me, but people always tell me I have nothing to worry about. She went on to say, I'm always giving solid, sound advice to people, and y'all still don't listen. My grandma.
Okay, now we get into something. Now we get into something. Okay, we got some evidence now. You see how you black folks don't listen? You black folks are hard-headed. So she was on the internet. Hold on. Let's rewind. Okay. This guy did some homework. He did his homework. Let's go.
Let's take a look.
Sometimes I see myself failing in the future and it worries me, but people always tell me I have nothing to worry about. She went on to say, I'm always giving solid, sound advice to people, and y'all still don't listen. My grandma told me I'm wise beyond my years, and if you know black grandmas, this is a high honor. Then y'all want to come crying to me when stuff comes falling to your knees. I literally have no pity. She made another confession, and she said,
that's what they unalive her. Listen. Now it's clear. Them savages unalive her. Because she told the truth about them. She said, y'all don't want to get right. You don't want to act right. You don't want to do what you're supposed to do. Oh, she was going in. Oh, they killed her. They killed this young, pretty woman. They killed this young, pretty woman. They killed this young, pretty woman for stating the truth. Just like how they unalived Charlie Kirk for telling the truth. They unaliving anybody that tells the truth. She was calling out the demons. And these demons want to unalive people. That's why people stay quiet. They don't tell the truth because you want to kill them. You want to kill them just like how you killed Christ. You wanted Christ gone. He healed. He helped people. Christ healed the dead, brought people back from the grave, and his own people wanted to kill him. Just like people wanted Charlie Kirk gone. His own did it. Just like this young lady right here, her own did it. Your own people want to kill you. Your own people want to take what you work hard for. It'd be my own people that want to see me gone. Ain't no other culture. Other cultures put me on to business. Other cultures want to see me win. It'd be black folks. Black devils at that. That want to see me gone. They killed this young pretty woman because she stood for truth. She told the family about themselves. She told the black community about themselves in Houston. And when you tell these ninjas, these savages about themselves, they want to kill you. And these savages are quiet. Why these demons are quiet now, Lex? Why these demons are quiet, fellas and ladies with common sense? Oh, now when we get to the point of what really led to her death, these savages is quiet now. They just... Sad, man, sad. Listen again.
Hey, I'm always giving solid, sound advice to people, and y'all still don't listen. My grandma told me I'm wise beyond my years, and if you know black grandmas, this is a high honor. Then y'all want to come crying to me when stuff comes falling to your knees. I literally have no pity. She made another confession, and she said, listen up. Y'all gonna hate me for this one, but I peeped everything. Game recognizes game. If you think you got one over on me, think smarter. She also said, whenever I go home, I usually go in my room in the dark and cry. I don't cry often, and I never have a long time until I go back home. You can imagine how stuff accumulates. And then she said, I wish I could go back and tell myself something at every age. Knowing what I know now, I could have saved myself from a lot of stupid decisions. And Jade's confession number 7 was, I usually hate people, but I can't live without my mom, dad, or grandma.
When you start knowing the truth, you don't want to be around nobody. When you start knowing the truth, you don't want to be around nobody. It's hard to trust people. It's hard to trust people once you know the truth. There was a time in the Bible Christ had to be to himself for a certain amount of time to get away from the disciples, to get away from the world, to recuperate. There's times that I do that. You don't want to be around nobody. You don't want to talk to nobody. You just want to be to yourself. Because people, man, it's tough. It's tough. Condolences to the family. Condolences to the family. This is what happens when you tell the truth. They want to kill you. Let's go back again, listen to it. I want to be quiet.
Myself failing in the future, and it worries me, but people always tell me I have nothing to worry about. She went on to say, I'm always giving solid, sound advice to people, and y'all still don't listen. My grandma told me I'm wise beyond my years, and if you know Black grandmas, this is a high honor. Then y'all want to come crying to me when stuff comes falling to your knees. I literally have no pity. She made another confession, and she said, listen up. Y'all gonna hate me for this one, but I peep everything. Game recognizes game. If you think you got one over on me, think smarter. She also said, whenever I go home, I usually go in my room in the dark and cry. I don't cry often, and I never have a long time until I go back home. You can imagine how stuff accumulates. And then she said, I wish I could go back and tell myself something at every age. Knowing what I know now, I could have saved myself from a lot of stupid decisions. And Jade's confession number 7 was, I usually hate people, but I can't live without my mom, dad, or grandma. If they gone, just take me out. I promise you I won't care. Now, Jade's family and friends have come forward to say that they do not believe that there was no foul play involved in her death because she was a happy 20-year-old girl and she had a very promising future. She went out with friends and they planned on going to different bars. From there, Jade ends up leaving the bar to go to the gas station to get a drink, which her family doesn't understand. Because if she was at a bar where there were drinks available, why would Jade leave the bar where she was at with friends and leave her cell phone?
Her leaving her cell phone, the only thing I read into that is she was drunk. But her being drunk doesn't really mean anything in this situation. All that really means is she was an easier victim. Drunk people are more susceptible to being victimized, especially drunk women, because she wasn't drunk enough to where she got lost. She went directly to that gas station, bought her drink, and walked out. That tells us that them savages had it in for her. Them savages had it in for her. Somebody had it in for her, and the police is not going to do anything about it. And let me just say this. Since y'all wanted to defund the police for George Floyd, let me say this to you Black folks, because you're going to get pissed what I'm about to say. Since you Black folks wanted to defund the police for George Floyd, the police is not coming to your aid. I'm going to say it again. Since you wanted to defund the police for George Floyd, who was a murderer, who had intercourse with underage girls and pornography,
amongst other things, now they're not coming to investigate your situation. You wanted to protect the center. Now you begging for them to investigate these situations. Black folks, you're going to have to learn how to investigate your own situation because you did it to yourself. Let's continue.
More about the people around her. You came to the bar with your friends, and your friends allowed you to leave the bar without your cell phone. They allowed you to walk away on your own and leave without checking up on you. Well, like, what type of friends were you with? Now, the one thing I do want to give credit to here is the family of Jade. The family ain't letting the police just pin this off as no foul play. Man, this was intentional, nothing to look at. No, the family is putting pressure on the police to do their job. Jade's cousin posted, sadly, my cousin was apparently murdered. So they believe she was murdered. They don't believe this is some type of just by chance fate. No, this is, she was murdered. Somebody intentionally inflicted harm on her. May she rest in peace. Her parents are distraught, of course. Not just because she was their only child. Jade was a rare gem indeed. She was an outstanding student at the University of Houston where her father taught. She was loved. This was a woman who was living with a purpose. This was somebody who had a strong family structure, it would appear, right? Because even in the quote-unquote messages they're claiming may have hinted towards a mental state, she was even saying, yo, my parents gave me a lot of advice that I didn't follow. She knew she was loved. She came from a household of love. This is someone from a prominent household. This isn't somebody who had nothing to live for. This is someone who apparently had a very bright future from the looks of it. Another person wrote, I'm so hurt, my pretty girl. You did nothing to deserve this, I promise. This is so wrong. You did nothing to nobody. Now, this person also begins to question the people around her and the people she came to the bar with. She wrote, this is so wrong. You did.
I'm glad this Gentile lady said that. This Gentile lady said the people she was around. We got to question the people she was around. Why they not being investigated? Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue.
Nothing to nobody. Why did they let you leave by yourself or without your phone? Oh my God, I've been high off my ass the past couple of days from keeping me from crying because this hurts so bad. This feels so wrong. Then put your body by the bayou like you're nothing. Then whole time you're so much more. I can't stomach the pain you were feeling and worrying, anxiety high with no phone or nobody to hear or help you. You really effed up my head. This one, I ain't lie. The same cousin would also say something that a lot of people, including myself, is kind of looking at, which is there may be a serial killer. Not even maybe. There's probably certainly a serial killer out there. If 13 was discovered by the bayou, bruh, that ain't no coincidence. 13 people ain't just accidentally drowning, bruh. Cut it out, right? You know, like that don't happen by no lakes. Yes. So she wrote, yes, some suspected serial killer may have taken my cousin Jade McKissick's life. We truly don't know. There's some odd circumstances surrounding her death with regard to people who were supposed to be her friends. Help find Jade's murderer by reporting info to Houston PD. If Houston PD would do their job. I'm not sure if you guys remember, because it was a long time ago. Do you remember the Kenneka Jenkins murder case? This is very similar to that one. Both their friends failed them. Now, Kenneka may be a little bit more gory. Like the Kenneka case may be a little bit more like complex. Because with Kenneka, there are rumors that, Kenneka is screaming in the background and her friends is like putting up the speaker to drown out her screaming while she was in the other room with other men, and men may have taken advantage of it. It was a huge deal when the Kenneka Jenkins thing happened. Now, she never really got justice. The police to this day claim, she walked into that freezer and, she was able to freeze to death. Even though the freezer don't lock from within, you could open up the freezer from within. So Kenneka apparently walked into that freezer, was cold as heck, and just let herself to freeze to death instead of just opening up the freezer door. This situation right here is very similar. this little girl who was perfectly healthy, had a lot to live for, left the bar with her friends to grab something to drink, and then began to walk directly into a lake. And
like I told y'all, they put a spell on her. We pretty much done listening to what he has to say. They put a spell on her. You know what I'm saying? She was around the wrong people, fortunately. Well, I appreciate everyone for tuning into the show. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you continue to get the lights up, share the video. You know, people saying that Lex should be a mod. No, respectfully to my mod, I have no issue with her. She might be busy. So, you know, I have to, you know, do what I got to do on my own. If you want to be a mod, you have to support the platform, or you have to be frequent. I have to get to know you. Everybody that's mostly a mod, I've gotten to know, except one person. Other than that, you know, I do have to have a face-to-face conversation with you. I have to know who you are in person, like behind the scenes, before I give you a wrench. I don't give wrenches out just to give wrenches out to people. I don't do that. You know, you have to support. You have to be consistent. I have to see who you really are to get a wrench, because I gave wrenches to warlocks and witches before, a long time ago. You know, so I got to know who you are behind the scenes before I do that. I just don't give out wrenches to anybody, because not to say Lex is a bad woman, bad person. I have to know you are who you say you are. So with that said, I'll talk with y'all real soon. To the mods, to the members, appreciate y'all viewing. Thank y'all for all tuning into the show. With that said, I'm out.